Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Celine and I welcome you this afternoon for another short 30 minutes of demonstration in a project, because now you graduate, it's your exam, it's a project. Okay, so I forgot to say that I'm a Janome educator for Janome Canada. Okay, so previously you saw, and on all the other educator, everybody showed you how to work with the attachment, circular attachment, also applique foot. Now we'll use them again in a project. Making a sample is just a test sample is easy, but in a project it's live, it's real, so we have to do it good. So I will switch the camera, and I hope you won't see my hand. No, I'm okay. I will remove the name because I want you to really see my the project. So here is the project underneath the dish. So I put the dish here to show you that the project is bigger than the dish. Okay, so it is a placemat, another placemat, or home deck, or a coaster, or layer in between dishes, or whatever. I saw quilt with circular, with those circular applique, but today we'll do fun placemat for lunch or even for dinner. Also, they are reversible. Of course, we put a nice fabric under and on top, and it's dirty, so we use the other side. And you know, sometimes when we eat, so they're pretty simple to do. But as long as I go in these 30 minutes, we'll add some difficulties. Well, difficulties, it's a big word. We'll add some interest. Okay, so first thing, what do you need? You need 2 pieces of fabric. So here's my step number 1. I need a nice fabric, and you know, it's you need 13 is 1/3 inches. 13. This is this could be end of fabric, leftover. You know, we have a lot of stash, so whatever is there, and they don't have to be all the same with all the same fabric. They can be different fabric also, to make a set. So what I need 13 by 13. Why? Because my circular attachment cannot sew wider than 12 inches diameter. Okay, diameter, I hope I'm saying right. So what I do, one piece I put some batting, but iron-on batting. I don't want the you know, it's time to use iron-on because it stays there. If you really want them thick, iron-on on one piece and iron-on on the other piece, batting on each. And if not, well, just one is enough. And you know, just one is enough also. But you know, you do what you want, okay? You see that I have my Janome regular tools in front of me. And what I do, I mark the center. This is really important because this dot here is really important because this is where I'm going to pin it around to sew around to make a circle. Okay, and on the top I need something to hang them or to attach them, or so you need to leave open and to return, of course, to return the whole project 2 inches. And trust me, it goes over two inches, no problem. Well, if you don't feel safe, you can do 3 inches, there's no problem, And what you do first, when everything is, you make sure you have everything pinned together and this is stiff because of that batting. It makes the fabric stiff. If it's not stiff enough, well, add or stabilizer or Terial Magic, but it has to be stiff. If it's not, you'll have a problem, you know, to go around. So this is what I need to do. I'm sorry. I'll do it in another fabric after, because this is my sample, my steps, you know. That's why I did it in another color, for you to understand what I did. So number one, everything together, one circle, opening, this is finished. When it's finished, I need to cut around. But you know, you need a real circle. You need this real round. To be real round, you need only 1/8 of an inch or 3 millimeter. If it's wider, the seam allowance, you have a circle with squares, you know, it won't be real, it'll be square, round square, okay? So you cut all the way around. You have to be careful of your fabric. You use cotton, no problem. You use a fussy fabric, you know, delicate fabric, then if it's delicate and thin, then you need 1/4 of an inch, because when you'll return, it'll fray, you know, you'll lose it. When this is done, return on the right side, you iron it, and you top stitch it. Okay, let's do one. Let's make one. So already you see that I attach my circular attachment. Circular attachment is different depending of your machine model. Today I'm using the 15,000, okay? And it's an easy set bobbin, so I need this circular attachment. But you know, tell your dealer which machine you have, which model number you have, and it'll give you the right circular attachment. It's important to know by heart which machine you bought, because to avoid, you know, return, exchange, you go back, it's far. We don't want to do this, huh? Okay, I'll show you the one we'll do today. It is this one, plaid. But I told you they're reversible. Ooh. Okay. I am ready. My sample is ready to sew. So I'll make one in front of you, and I'll explain what's wrong with it and not to be afraid of. So okay, so you know that if I unlock this here, I can move it, change it, slide it wherever width I want of my circle. This time I want it as big, as wide as possible, and I will lock it. When it's locked, nothing moves. When it's unlocked, it's sliding. You don't want that, huh? So, okay, it's locked. Number one. Number two, I'm going to use regular F foot. Okay. Remove this from the pin. You be careful. And I really pin them together. Make sure that on the other side it's another color, that everything is pinned. And I mark my center. And I'm going to find it here. It's, you know, it's hard because we don't see through, huh? Whoops. Almost. Okay, I'm there. And then, I don't want to hurt myself, cover the pin. And you see here, I made a mark. Why I make this? Because I need to hang them, you know, or to pretend I'm going to hang them. So I leave an opening 2 inches here. And also this is where I'm going to flip over the the whole mat. Okay, needle down. Now I'm on straight stitch. Straight stitch, my needle is in a center position. I want it as big or as wide as possible. So I have a 9mm machine on the 15,000. I'm going to move my needle position to as far as it can go on the right hand side. Okay, I move my needle. So I add a little bit. I had like not a quarter of an inch, but I had 4mm. Okay, then I like to start with a reverse because reverse is strong, and you make sure that everything is flat, all your layers are following. You see, I don't hold it, I let it go, but my hand is closed here just to make sure I don't push it. I just make sure that all is okay. All is turning at the same time. Okay, I'm almost there. And I want to make sure I'm going to do my reverse. Yes, finish. Cut my thread. Okay, remove this. And part number 1 is finished. Was not that hard, huh? You know what takes long? Is the cutting. You know already it's 13 inches, it's a square, 13 by 13. But because we use our, I don't want to say leftover, we use end of a roll or piece that we bought. They're not always even. So I like, where is this? Oh yeah, here. So you see, like my batting, it's not straight because I was missing it. I use my leftover, so I'm not straight, but I make sure before that my circle had enough of the 2 fabric and the batting. So if they're not even, no problem. So I'll check. Everything is in a circle here. I check my 4 side. Everything is okay here. You see my circle. My 3rd side, everything is okay. And on the top, everything is in. And you know, you're afraid. Look at this. You say, oh, am I okay here? Yes, we are, because we figured this out before. I have a perfect circle with right hand side needle position. I hope I said this right. Okay. Then what do I have to do? I have to cut all the way around, leaving 1/8 of an inch. So I'm okay here, except on the top. On the top, I leave, you see, like here, I will leave this little part. It's easier to turn and to add the hanger. I don't know how to say this. Okay. Then 1/8 of an inch. And then, trust me, you can turn this inside out. Don't worry, it's going. But you need the right tools. So I know it's sewing, but tools are part of sewing. I don't like to use a knitting, I don't know how you say, knitting stick, okay? I'm using the right sewing tools. And I want to point that out because you probably bought some and then they're in the drawer, they're in the sewing room, and we forget about it. Okay, whoops, sorry, I want to move the camera. The strongest one is from Clover. The best tools are from Clover, huh? So the strongest one is from Clover. And you know, when you want to push this is silicone. When you push it to be outside, trust me, nothing bend. It's really stiff, and you don't hurt the fabric. You don't damage the fabric, I should say, because it's made for this and it is solid. This one is still from Clover, and this is silicone, but not silicone plastic. You see, this one is for a narrower or a smaller, let's say you do a mug rug or a circle, a coaster. Well, this one would be okay because it's thinner and you can turn, you see, like these here, to turn the corner. Perfect. I don't like to use the tip of the scissor. You go through. This one you don't go through. Okay? And if you want to iron and applique, and you with your ironing, with your iron, you don't want to burn your fingers. This is silicone. It's holding when you're going. And I'm not connected to Clover, okay? Janome is enough. So just to remind you, you have those tools, probably use them. And sewing tools. Sewing is not kitchen tools, okay? Then I have this one, Clover again. I like also, you know, when you want to go inside and push this all the way to make sure it's a nice big circle. This is another tool that you probably have and you forget. Okay, I just want to point that out. You know, when I teach, I like when people are using their tools. No matter what, you pay for these. So I like to make you use, now I like to remind you to use them. Okay? So then after we're cut all the way around, we turn it inside out, we iron it, and then I add a little piece of fabric. This is just a band with, I want it thick. I don't want this thin, okay? And I right sides together, two seam, because this is the fold. And I just have to insert it and it does the job. How is this going to hold? Hold on. See here? This is my opening. I slide it in. And when I will top stitch all the way around with the circular attachment, I will close the top and sew this at the same time. So you see, nothing by hand. So how will I top stitch this? Now it's my taste, okay? Or your own taste. Maybe I want red here, red thread and green thread. And maybe I want green on green and red on red. Hey, it's yours. You do what you want, huh? So the thing is, you have to remember or to make a mark on your fabric to make sure that you will do a nice circle. Whoops. Okay. Down. And this time to do a top stitch. This time I'm coming back to a center needle position. Right away. So your seam allowance is like in a casing. So it looks like you add a bit of piping. It's really, really nice. Well, when I say it's nice, I have to prove it to you. Look, this is what I did. Okay? And the top stitching is made with the circular attachment, the same thing, but center needle position. Okay? Okay. Then you say, well, it's so simple, Celine. Come on, that's all. 30 minutes just to say this? No, we're going to add more now. So you see? Cute. If you have an embroidery machine, look what you can add. This is lace. Look at the nice bow. If you want to you can sew by hand, with the machine also, a snap. You know, invisible snap, snap, and remove it when you wash it and come back. Oh, it's really, oh, I love what I can do with all my machines. Okay. I want to say something. Oh, I forgot what I want to tell you. Okay, I'll keep going. I forgot. Oh, no, I know. Okay, so they're reversible. So maybe you say, oh, my table decoration, you know, people come and eat at home and you have this on your table. Hey, no matter what, it's just a wow. People are impressed and you're so proud to show what you did. Or you can give this as a gift also. You can do, I don't have to tell you, you know that, but let's say you're only 2 people at home. Well, you need 3, 1 for the center of the table and 1 each. There are 4 people. Maybe you want to put 2 in the center to put the salt and pepper and ketchup and name it, the olive and name it. Put, you know, your center table. So this will make people talk. And of course, they're going to realize how nice and perfect the circle is. Okay, so this is okay. Now, let's say I don't have nice fabric. I have plain Christmas fabric. Oh, look at this. Then we have a nice sewing machine with decorative stitches, and I can add just a bit of applique. You can put them round, straight, you can sew them together. You know what? There's no limit with Pinterest. Pinterest and your imagination, well, you won't sleep, okay? We really love what we're doing. So I'll show you what I did. To do this, I don't need the circular attachment because this is not a circle. This is not a perfect circle like this. I'll show you, it's easier than talking. So I'll remove this, and to put back the little cover. Okay, and I'll change my foot. I'll remove this foot, and you know that the Janome feet have more than 1 use. So I'll put the applique foot, AP, which we use a lot for applique, but it's not just for applique. Oh yeah, I want to show you. So you see underfoot, I need something red underneath, then you'll see, whoops, you see all the marks, the lines. This is really helpful for what I'm doing now, for what I'm going to do. So it attached at the back and at the front, and never forget to insert your thread under the foot and in your thread holder, from the back to the front, thread cutter, from the front to the back, thread holder. I'm amazed every time people are surprised of this. This is lesson number 1 when you buy a machine. Unbelievable. So why am I using this foot? Because this is round. The foot is shorter, really shorter than, let me put it down. Look how shorter it is compared to the regular foot, the F or F2. You can use F2, but if you don't have, there's no problem. You can use your F foot or F2, no problem. But when you have it, because it's round, it's easier to manipulate. Oh, I don't know what I did. Okay. It's easier to manipulate, okay? So, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to use an applique stitch, applique stitch, and this time I'm going to use I want to use this one here. Okay, I'm going to use the lines of the feet to sew straight. So my fabric is raw, the raw edge. Put down, okay, and this is what I choose. Sorry, it's blinking, but it depends the way the camera is. So I want, because of the zigzag here, I want to surge, if I can say this, I want to serge the end of my fabric to prevent to fray. And how am I doing this? I am using one line here, one guide, to make sure that I'm following the edge of the fabric. And because it is round, the applique, because it is round, it's so easy to manipulate. I don't want to go that fast because I want to have the full control. And also when I go fast, my thread falls on the floor. The boxes of thread that I have here. I'm sewing with the Janome thread, but you know that Janome is also a distributor for Madeira stabilizer. Okay. If I have a few little piece of thread from the fabric that is out of the fabric, well, no problem. You just can clip them after. So previously I was teaching in French, so I did the other side. Now I'm doing the last one, and you can choose either color you want to choose. It's almost finished. You want to do it fast. When people look at you, you don't want them to lose it. You don't want to lose them watching, and you don't want to do it wrong neither, huh? Cut my thread. Right away pick my thread and in the thread holder. So you see, I can clip all these little fuzzy things, there's no problem. So you see how easy it was? Then, how did I, let me clip this, how did I prepare this that good? Okay? First of all, I did it in red, my circle. I did it in red because I want you to see. Of course, you can do it on both sides of the fabric, one after the other one, but I did my iron-on batting, then I put my applique, and then my decorative stitch. But these two parts are not a circle. And I used, and you in the US, you'll be very happy because you know them. I use the ruler from the Sewing Revolution. Sewing Revolution. Her name, who went through the whole United States, is Kim. I know Kim more than the other lady who stays in the Australia. But Janome used to sell these. I'm not sure if you still have it. But this one, the one I use today is D by D, but they have many type of ruler, and we bought them to do the infinity quilt or any of their project. Go and see their website. It's just, I'm telling you, it's haute couture. Okay, so I use my tools, and like I say, people buy the tools from me. I made them use those tools. So look how perfect. How I draw my and I cut my fabric. I use this. This is not a circle. This is a quarter of a circle, and up to here, the measurement is not the same, but the angle is not the same neither. And I did it 2 inches wide. So 2 inches down, 1, 2. I draw my other line to cut them perfect. Should I say semicircle or round? Okay, so if you don't know how to use this, they have video tutorial, and it comes with a book, the D by D, okay, designed by Dot. Really helpful. Okay, I have no connection, I have no commission, nothing, so don't worry. And then, can I keep my applique foot to add decorative stitches? Of course I can do it. Like I said, because it is short and the front is curvy a little bit, poof, it's so easy. So this time I did. So now the width in between each row of decorative stitches, are different. It depends which line you're using. You want a space, no space. Of course, this one is different than the border guide or using any other Janome any foot or feet, but you know what I mean, huh? I'm telling you, my French is so good, you have no idea. Okay, so I'm choosing designs that will, let's do the stars. I want to make sure that I'm starting inside because I want to start inside my circle. And this time I'm going to use the width of the foot. Okay. My eyes keep the previous row of stitches. And see how easy with a wide stitch, I'm a 9mm stitch. See how easy it is to turn the fabric. Cut my thread. There you go. So of course, as many, you know, the more you add, the less are in a circle. But you see, yeah, it's not straight stitch. Okay, so you know there's no limit, and depending the mark you're using, it gives you a different spacing in between your decorative stitches. So you have a plain fabric, you embellish, because this is just a few pieces that I had left from a previous project. I want to point out something else. See here, I didn't go perfectly. You see white stuff? I didn't follow exactly. How do you repair? Number one, you remove the whole stitches. Well, you're discouraged, huh? Then you use fabric marker to repair, but fabric marker, not coloring a pencil, huh? Fabric marker. So when you'll wash your project, everything will stay into place. You won't lose the color. Okay. So this is one way, another way to embellish. If you have an embroidery machine or even a sewing machine with lettering, you can add Merry Christmas, don't eat too much, I hope you like it, no calorie in this dish, whatever you want to write it, the name of the person, or welcome at my table. Hey, I don't have to tell you what to write, huh? Okay? So this is embellishing, a way of embellishing some should I say Christmas ball placemat. I hope I'm okay, but you know what I need. And I'm going to move here, one last thing that I have to show you. So this one is done, okay? But look how bigger it is from the plate. And I use my big plate to show you the biggest plate. So imagine if you use the smallest plate for a snack. You can do this smaller if you want. You can add also layers in between, different color. You know, creativity, there's no limit. And I made, of course, that flower, I made it. I make everything. Okay, now, I'm not sure if I'm not close enough. Let me move this. Let me show you this to you. Okay, it's not flat because of all my feet and everything, but you see. So this is sewing. It's popular on the net. I saw it, okay? But the inside it's embroidery. Here it's sewing. You see? Straight stitch. Embroidery. You recognize this design from your machine, but you don't recognize this. So what I did with the circular attachment, that this is gold and red, this is the only place I use the circular attachment. So I found the center, which is really easy, with it's made so perfectly. So I use the center, after my embroidery. I did my embroidery, and after this, I did a closed zigzag. But the closed zigzag is already in your applique stitches on your machine. And I will prove it to you. I'm turning the page to show you. People ask me sometimes, what is this, Celine? Now that I want to show you, I don't find it. It's a plain zigzag. Oh no, it's a plain zigzag. Oh no, I have it. Okay. It is a zigzag. But when you look at it, what is this? Just lines? No, it's a zigzag. You can adjust the width and the length. And I did my zigzag gold all the way around. Then I look and it was plain, just a zigzag. Oh, it's not enough. What did I do? I choose a stitch which is like snowflakes, a different color all the way around on top of the previous one. So you see, there is no limit. There's no limit to creativity. And Janome give us the opportunity to expand our creativity with all the stitches and the function on our machine. As usual, you can buy the presser foot and the addendum for the specialty feet, which are optional. And you can buy Janome distributor, is a distributor for Madeira thread and stabilizer, and our tools that goes well, you know, and it's red, it's already the Christmas color, okay? And your 2 feet that I told you, okay, applique foot. The foot has more use than one use, most of them. And you discover some as long as you go, okay? And today, like I said, I used the wonderful 15,000, okay? The screen is blinking, but I would like to have all the words to explain to you, but it's not broken. And it's not blinking me. It's blinking because of the camera, okay? So, I'll switch the camera. I have to press. Oh yeah, I'm okay. So I hope you're going to make your placemat snowball or Christmas balls, or I hope you're going to make them. And until next week, I wish you happy sewing and use all the tips and tricks that I give you. Thank you for watching.